Bitcoin's at the top part of the ascending triangle. We're ready to break out. We have an 80% chance that we're going to break to the 9,000 level. Once all these gold buyers realize that they can't buy any physical gold, where are they going to come to?
Today for the Bitcoin price with DavinciJ15, we will talk about Bitcoin and the financial crisis. Because right now Bitcoin is either trapped in this ascending triangle or in a wedge, but whatever it is trapped in, it will break very, very soon. In fact, within the next few 4-hour candles, maybe 1, 2, or 3 days. We will talk about whether a breakout to the upside or to the downside is more likely at this point of time. We will talk about specific price levels, but even more important, we will talk about the financial crisis and the fact that the Federal Reserve balance sheet is right now exploding. We will talk about why we are in a recession already for 2 or 3 quarters, and we will also talk about why things are going to get much worse than they are already right now. And now, without any further ado, we want to come to the most important question of today. DavinciJ15, the number one person to talk to in a financial crisis. Thank you so much for being here. And right now, I want to ask you, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, Chris. Thank you for asking. I'm here in my basement right now. I had to move locations because it was very uncomfortable in my office. I had too much equipment there. And right now, I want to show you a little bit of my basement, if you don't mind. Here is my theater room, right? And I got the pool table there, right? And this table here is actually my poker table, right, that I'm using right now since I can't play poker with my buds right now. So that's where I have everything set up.
Don't tell that to Peter Schiff that we are doing Bitcoin videos on a poker gambling table. He would make some tweets about that.
Definitely. So how you doing over in the sunny Indonesia, right? Or
Thailand, yeah.
Sorry.
Same. Yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We actually have a curfew here right now, starting from 10 p.m. in the evening. But I mean, if that makes the things better, why not? We are concentrating here on content regardless, and especially right now. I mean, Bitcoin is right now in a decision time. We are in that triangle formation, and we will inevitably break out very soon. This is what we are going to talk about. We will talk about the financial crisis, the Federal Reserve, all that good stuff, and very, very interesting insights here regarding the Bitcoin price and the financial market. So I'm doing very well to answer your question, and I can't wait to pull up the charts and see what's going on right now.
All right, let's do that right now and pull up the long-term charts. As you know, the weekly looks beautiful, right? We are above the 200 weekly moving average. That is a godsend. We want to stay above that at all costs. That's right now at $5,500. If we touch it again, it's not the end of the world, but we got to stay above that. I'd prefer that we not come back and look at it actually at all.
Yes.
But the market's going to do whatever the market wants to do. The good thing is, right, like you said in your last video, is that a lot of people coming in the market with tether, and they stuck that tether on the exchanges, so they're ready to buy any of these dips that come in. So it's highly unlikely that we're going to push it down here. Those guys are going to probably buy it up if it comes start coming down. With that said, right, the trend is your friend till the end. So let's figure out what kind of trend, long-term trend that we can go to and what kind of targets we can have. I'm thinking of an AB equals CD target here, where you can see that this is going to bring us all the way to where this line in the sand was where I was thinking, okay, well, if the market rolls over on this purple line, it's not a good sign. We're probably going to go down lower. And look at that, we did go and we made a big dump, a dump that I didn't think was going to happen, but it did happen anyways. And now we're projected to go all the way back there, which would also close the CME gap because it's like only a few dollars off the CME gap. So probably what's like $60 between friends. When you're saying that the top here is around like almost $9,000, like $8,950 to $60. So what's $100 between friends, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can see this market definitely get up here and close the gap for once and for all at the top there. Now, with that said, how do you play this? How do we play this thing? Because earlier today on my channel, I had a trade. I was talking to people and saying, hey, listen, if you want to take a chance and trade, we were looking at this candle right here. If you want to take a chance, you can do that with a long trade, but all these stops here that long here, I was saying knob stop, knob stop, knob stop, right? That's a bad idea, right? And this would be your stop loss right here. This is their stop loss, and I think this. If you want to go forward with the trend being your friend, and you want to follow this, it's got to really has to stay above this trend line. It can wick down below it a few times, but the absolute line in the sand is now that wick there. Cannot break that wick because it's going to break down here, and if it breaks down here, the next stopping point that it has to hold is the 78.6. Can't hold that. We're going to break serious market structure and cause some serious damage to the price. You can see that probably if we draw that that triangle that everybody's talking about, which is, let's just say it's this triangle right here. Let's take this trend line right here. I'm going to take this and draw it right here. So there we go. So if we break down and break this trend line right here, and I'm going to make this solid because it has like 3 touch points. So might as well make it a solid line, right? We break this, then the whole market structure completely collapses. We're probably going to lose this trade that we made. Remember we did this trade, what day was that, Chris? Do you remember that?
It was the 29th of March where we talked about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the 29th of March.
Few weeks and month. Is that correct?
Exactly. I think we have a little bit more downside, not much though. I think 8.2 will hold us here. If you want to take a trade off of this, I would suggest you set your loss at the bottom of these wicks here and set it buy-in order if we come down more at the 38.2, because I do really believe 38.2 is going to hold. And you can see if you want to take this, like just do even just a 2-to-1, right? I mean, that's right back where we are, pretty much. And so it's a very good risk reward ratio, and you could actually just take half profits and let to see where the rest runs, right? To hold on for Bitcoin at 100K actually. Yeah, we were talking about that on the 29th of March. Market was coming down and saying, listen, you can't buy it up here. You have to buy it down here at the 38.2, and look at that. It was like a beautiful trade, right? We just got right in there, right? You didn't have to wait too long before you actually got a nice pump. And then, I was telling people to take half profits off the table and let it run to 100,000 that we've been talking about. Just let it run. Walk away from your Bybit or Fimex or whatever you're using for your leverage trade. You do a 5x, 10x or whatever on this thing, and then let it ride, right? You take your 50% off right here, right, so that you have some profit. You set the stop loss right here, and that's where you go. You let it ride. Now, if you want to add to this trade, that's not a bad idea actually. To the 100,000, that's not. If you're in this trade and you want to add to it, it's not a bad idea. It's a little risky, but if you want to accept the risk, it's not a bad idea to add to this trade. I would say you want to add to this trade. You add to this trade to any kind of wicks below this green line. So if it breaks below 6,700, you're interested in adding to the trade. If you want to add in this area, I don't mind doing that if you do that, but it just it adds. You're not playing from a position of strength. So if you want to play from a position of strength, add to the trade below the 6,700.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so Is there a trade for us, the rest of the people who are not in this trade? Yes, there is. Again, you could actually do the same thing. We could bring down the trade to the 38.2. It might be a little late because we've already tested the 38.2 several times and we've already rejected it. So it might be too late for you to get in, but this is where you would set your stop loss and then just so don't get greedy, take a 2.2 to 1 risk spread ratio and then let the rest ride.
Yeah.
Right, take a little half of profits off and then let the rest ride. It's not very far away, and so if this thing goes up and then rolls over, you still got some profits, and then there you go. You're really happy because you walked away with a little bit of profit on this very quick trade.
What I really loved was thanks that you bought this trade up from the 29th of March, because this was actually a perfect one. I think the buy entry was around 5,800. We talked about that we are right now actually on the 4 hour at least in an uptrend because we have higher highs and higher lows, which is very great. However, we have this probably ascending triangle. Just to put it out there, what do you think? What is more likely? Are we breaking into the upside or to the downside? In theory, an ascending triangle is more likely to break to the upside. However, on the macro perspective, we are still in a downtrend. Do you still think the likelihood is higher of us actually breaking towards the upside?
Well, I really think the trend is your friend till the end, so I think we're going to probably break out to the upside. Yep. Have a higher probability. I give it like 80% chance that we're going to break to the upside. So.
That sounds amazing. And everyone read between the lines. Of course, we said if we don't break the trend, so if we break below and we create and close also on the 4 hour below the previous low, then of course we break the key market structure here, and this is off the table. As long as we are not doing that, yes, the likelihood is higher of us breaking towards the upside. Thank you so much for that, DaVinci, and I think a lot of people are very happy to hear your new thoughts since the last one played out so well. Can we also talk about the financial crisis? I mean, this is the most important topic for everyone. It applies to everyone, not only the Bitcoiners, but for every single person in the world. And there are some very interesting developments, especially in the Federal Reserve balance sheet. So maybe you can share your opinion about that.
Yeah, sure. Like if we take a look at the Federal Reserve balance sheet, right? Let me just bring that up for you right now, because it's scary. It's just starting off, right? This is just starting, right? As you see, it looks exactly like it happened right here. I mean, we're moving. I mean, it was pretty much flat here, but then it just exploded. And then, I remember them changing the GDP calculations in order to hide all this stimulus that they needed to do between 2011 and then 2013 in order to like hide all that, because the market was like collapsing, and they wanted to change the GDP in it to include stuff like, lint dust. I'm just kidding. I mean, they were trying to include they were including, for example, like intellectual property that had no value, that you weren't selling just yet. Right, you didn't actually sell. You just had for example, a patent.
It was just created. Yeah, you don't even know if it has a market value.
Exactly, you don't know what the market value. So they would assign a value to it. So effectively, the GDP was complete. The GDP value numbers are useless. So that they could effectively never have a recession with the way they calculate GDP. If you look back, if we wanted to really consider when we were in another recession, honestly, we were in the recession way back here. Why do I say that? You can see that right here. This monetary growth was in order to stimulus was to keep the markets from completely collapsing, right? And we're still in the recession from all the way back since 2010, September 2010, right? And that's when this thing started to grow. So they just, it was all covered up all the way through. So this is all recessionary everywhere. All this up here, because the way the GDP it has been calculated to hide the fact that we've been in the recession all this time, and also keep in mind that around this time 50 million people were on food stamps. 50 million Americans.
And now it's much worse right now. Look at the unemployment claims. I mean, the jobless claims. I mean, this will be much, much crazier when it comes to my opinion, which is sad. It's just crazy to see what were the effects in 2008. And this crisis will be most probably much more severe than the crisis in 2008. So I don't even want to think about what is going to happen within the next 1 or 2 years if this one is even more severe.
Exactly. And then, I've always rant about the fact that, there's no gold to have, right? And I should have went to the Perth Mint, man. If I only knew they had gold bars left, I would have went there. But they've sold out of gold bars completely. The biggest gold mint in all of the world has no gold, along with every other mint and coin shop around the world. And that's only possible because our prices that you see for commodities, for your copper, for your silver, for your uranium, everything, that's all managed. Every single price is managed. Even your stocks are managed by the banks and their governments, as in order to make the world seem that everything's fine. And it's sad because you know what, this gold price should be for there to be gold in the market, the price just has to be slightly higher probably, and then somebody's going to sell into that price. Yeah. Right, and provide liquidity for people who wants to buy gold at a higher price. But they're not doing that because they're controlling the price. And this makes me mad to no end. But the good thing is for all you hodlers out there, is that once all of these gold buyers who realize that they can't buy any physical gold, where are they going to come to? Something that they can actually take possession of. Yes. Chris, do you know what they could take possession of?
Let me take a wild guess. BSV? BCH? Of course, guys, we are here talking about Bitcoin. And this is the great news. This is, of course, gold is amazing, but don't forget that Bitcoin is better than gold in some other things. Just for example, the one we have been talking about right now. There will be always a market for physical real Bitcoin, and this is called the spot market, and this is also called the OTC market, and you can always get some Bitcoin as long as you are willing to pay the price. And for gold, this is right now just not possible. So thank you so much for sharing that, DaVinci. Everyone remind yourself on that. And I really want to know from you guys, this ascending triangle we talked about, do you think we will break it towards the upside or towards the downside? There is a poll popping up on top of the screen right now. Let us know towards the upside, break out to the upside, or break down to the downside. That would be interesting to know. And in the comment section, we can have some talks about the financial crisis. We will for sure try to answer all the important and good comments here down below. Thank you so much, DaVinci. And I really wanted to know from you also, how is it going with Pandora's Wallet? Do you have any updates in regards to that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because I totally forgot to mention that in our preamble before we were doing the show, that our websites were intermittently down because of Cloudflare. Cloudflare was our proxy server, which hides our IP address, and I believe that there's one of their servers were not working properly, and some customers did not have access to the website to make a purchase of Pandora's Wallet to get it at the lower price. So we've decided to allow everybody to have access to the 1 month. So we've lowered the price to the 1 month subscription for tomorrow, starting right now until tomorrow midnight UTC. Time. So you have like 48 hours almost, less than 48 hours right now. I think about 22 hours depending on when this video actually gets uploaded, but you have at least 20 hours to purchase Pandora's Wallet, and you'll get access to my Telegram group. You just enter your Telegram username once you subscribe to the Pandora's Wallet for 1 month subscription, you enter your your Telegram username, and you'll be part of our group, and you guys get to see what my trades are, what my portfolio's like. It got destroyed, but that's okay. You get to see that as well.
It depends on the time frame.
Some of the trades.
It depends on the time frame you're looking at. If you're looking from 2011, it probably did not get destroyed at all. So in the long term, it is doing very well. Guys, if you are interested in that, scroll down in the pinned comment. You will find the link for Pandora's Wallet, and you can sign up for that amazing product with all the nice perks on the sidelines with the Telegram group and so on. And also one important announcement here, guys. Of course, if you want to support us, you find in the pinned comment the Bybit and the Phemex link. But even more important, if you click on more, you can also find the free secret Telegram group with DavinciJ15 and the MMCrypto team. We are 12,000 people in there, and if you click this link, we will share our trading setup with you. You just saw the one 4 or 5 days ago, played out pretty well. So make sure you join this group here in the pinned comment, and you get part of the family, and also $202 for free on Bybit and Phemex, only for experienced traders and only for a 0.2 Bitcoin deposit. Make sure you check that out as well. So that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, DaVinci, for taking your time, dropping your knowledge bombs on us once again. And yeah, before I wrap up today's episode, do you have anything to share?
Always play from a position of strength and don't get wrecked.
Do not get wrecked, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see each other very soon at the next one of MMCrypto. And as always, guys, click the subscription box right here, because otherwise you will be missing out on time-sensitive content in the future. And also click the Bybit tutorial, which is popping up right here. And that being said, we will see each other very soon at the next one of MMCrypto. And as always, guys, bye-bye.